Well, I don't even know where to start because there's so much and it's all really juicy. Let's start with what I think is the most serious, because this is punishable, and it definitely is. That Raphinha, who had two Raphinha moments last night, one on the field, he might have been annoyed and all that. You can see why he's annoyed with people, but his actions are still really ugly. And besides, look, I want the same thing Raphinha does, that in the next round, Atletico gets knocked out, right? But I'm an Atletico fan, man, and I record that like permanently just in case Atletico gets any ideas, because in their whole history, they haven't been able to do it. They've had so many chances and they win this Champions League, right? This guy will rub it in his face, but it's not my fight now, though I think it's serious. And above all, later on, when things have cooled down a bit, and in front of the cameras and microphones, this guy goes and says this: UEFA has to step in here, of course, and honestly, Rafinha should get 3 or 4 matches easily. Before we listen to him, this is important. Barça hasn't won the Champions League in 12 years and has embarrassed themselves for 12 years. Let's recall some of those moments. Well, all the photos, the 12 photos there, basically collector's items by now, one for each year. It's every year, and each one is even better than the last, right? Like that 3-0 against Juve, or Atletico 3 times, or was it 2 times? Since 2016? Yeah, that's right. What else has happened to them? Well, the Liverpool thing, oh man, the Bayern thing, well, but each one is even better. Insisto, I'll say it again, 12 years without winning the Champions League. This summer, we should get the news that UEFA isn't inviting Barça, not just to the next Champions League, but to the next 10. With luck, Rafinha won't play in the next 10 Champions League seasons, and then on top of that, he'd also have to serve a 4-match suspension. The whole 10 Champions League thing will happen naturally. But anyway, the thing is, that issue is still there, that case that was never closed and is still kind of suspended by UEFA because of the Negreira situation. I've warned you in previous videos to be careful with that move, not just from Real Madrid. All right, let's get to this. This is what Rafinha said. Unbelievable, right? The match was stolen. Yeah.
He says, regarding the refereeing, for me, that game was a robbery. And not just that one, but another one too.
I think the refereeing...
Stolen game or stolen match?
It was terrible. His decisions were unbelievable.
The decisions he makes are unbelievable. Atleti with faith and all that. Montaña seems to be the Portuguese guy.
Yeah, you count. What? No.
He says there were, I don't know how many fouls, and the referee didn't show a single yellow card to them.
I wanted to fully understand their method, and Barcelona's even paying for it.
He says, I really want to understand. And in the end, I don't even know what he's saying anymore. Well, that Barca deserved to go through, which Gabby also said. Frankie said it too. And I mean, what else are they going to say? Well, Gabby should be thankful he wasn't sent off. And this is Rafinha Shafita to his friends. After the match ended, he went onto the field and did this to the Athletic killers. He tells them, next time, there you go, next time, go home. He says, next time, go home. Out. Well, you can see he's more or less calm, but he's seething with hatred, absolutely seething. The typical thing of someone who's hating but still smiling. That's happened to all of us at some point. But anyway, this was Rafita. Rafita was nice. Rafita was nice when, hey, we said it in the last video, Leti gets robbed here. In the end, this is the only really clear play. I mean, here it's definitely clear. Right? The referee blew the whistle and the call should have gone the other way. Joan Garcia handled the ball outside the box. This is absolutely indisputable. The red card is not up for debate. About Fermin, even people from Barça were saying, Mikel Rico in the cup, that it's impossible to think that it could be a penalty by Musso on Fermin, but it's impossible. Let's listen to Musso. That'll bring everything into focus. There's a lot happening. I find it interesting how this Atleti goalkeeper talks because, well, I still have a lot to say here, but I think what he says is interesting. He's a guy you can understand very well. I like him. I feel a bit dirty saying it's not Atleti and I like him, but this Musso guy, I like him. Look, Juan, one of the last ones. No, that's it. Is Credit Palmieri shouting?
3 penalties they didn't give him, 4 red cards. Can we talk about the robbery? I understand what Raphinha says. I understand what anyone can say. Everyone has their own opinion.
Let's not say the series was a robbery because that's not the case. We didn't win.
It sounds a bit bad now, but it'll sound better.
We won 2-0 away from home.
Don't say it was a robbery because it wasn't like that.
Last man in soccer, it's a red card. Unfortunately, it's a team we respect a lot, and it's very motivating to play against them. They're a great team. I think talking about a robbery is crazy.
And he also explains that about Fermin. He says, well, let's see, I try to make myself big and all that. He's already taken the shot. It's totally accidental. He comes into me. Well, anyone who argues about that just doesn't know soccer, right? There are people comparing it to what happened with Mbappe the other day. No, you were complaining about this. Well, look now, let's get back to what we were talking about, because there are some really juicy things here. Cholo, man, Cholo in the Champions League, against Madrid and Barça. He's lost all the Madrid matchups. Man, 2014, 2015, 2014, the final, 2015 in the quarterfinals, 2017 in the final, 2017 semifinals, 2025 round of 16, and he beat Barça all 3 times. Man, isn't that amazing? Oh, well, look, here are the picks from each year, right? The one with Roma, wonderful 2016 and 2017. No, 2017 against Atleti. Sorry, 2017, they crashed out against Juve. Manolas, 2018, man. Anfield, 2019. The 8-2 in 2020. In 2021, Piqué grabbing Mbappe because he couldn't stop him when Mbappe. He was running a bit more. Well, let's see tonight. We'll talk about that later. In 2022, they get eliminated in the group stage. And then Eintracht fills their stadium with white. In 2023, Manchester United knocks them out too, also in the Europa League. In 2024, what happened here in 2024? Who knocks them out in 2024, man? Paris Saint-Germain again, right? Yeah, correct. Inter last year was wonderful, and this year this. And now let's move on to something that's absolutely tremendous. And, well, look here, Dani Olmo, he has this look on his face because he was the man of the match. He has this face because they had just told him that they were giving him the trophy under an emergency injunction, so it wasn't clear if they were going to take it away from him tomorrow or not. What happens is that experience should also tell him that every temporary order they grant him never really expires. I mean, that kind of thing just keeps going and all that. Even so, the guy still made that face, right? Because I don't know if you know, the Spanish government, through the CSD, granted him an emergency injunction. It's already lasted a year and a half, right? For whatever reason. Anyway, Barça. Come on, let's look at these numbers from Barça and the coincidences, right? Barça's organizational chart in UEFA during their best period from 2006 to 2015. Michel Platini was there receiving watches. Remember, there was Sene Serci, who was UEFA vice president and vice president of the committee, and UEFA referees. He was a project manager at UNICEF. And Laporta, who is very smart, said, hey, are we going to put UNICEF on the jersey? Angel Maria Villar, just in case, was UEFA vice president. We already know what he did in Spain with the so-called Villar favoritism system. And of course, his right-hand men, naturally, Victoriano, Sanchez de Arminio, and Negrera. And well, there they were. Joan Gaspar, also vice president of the Spanish Football Federation and a member of the UEFA Club Committee, and a member of the UEFA Committee and the ECA. Between 2006 and 2010, of course, Joan Laporta, who was president of Barça and who quadrupled the payments to Negrera. That was in Spain, but they also had to secure it in Europe with UNICEF on the jersey. And I insist, coincidences don't exist. Like, for example, this piece of data from Maketo, this piece of data from Maketo, which is incredible. Red cards for FC Barcelona defenders in the Champions League in the last 3 seasons, from 23 to 26. Araujo against PSG and against Chelsea, 2. Cubarsí against Benfica and Atlético de Madrid, 2. Eric Garcia against Monaco and against Atlético de Madrid. Red cards for Barcelona defenders in La Liga in the last 3 seasons, from 23 to 26, 0. Listen, from 6 to 0. In the past 3 Champions League seasons, Barca has played X matches, but I'm not sure of the exact number. But in the league, they've played not double, not triple, but 4 or 5 times as many. I mean, a huge amount. In the Champions League, 6. This can't be a coincidence. I'm not trying to convince you, since you're even more convinced than I am, of course. And then another thing, the easy paths that Barca has had lately. Teams that Barca has eliminated in the Champions League. In the last 5 years, Barca has eliminated these: Newcastle, Borussia Dortmund, Benfica, and Napoli. Newcastle, Borussia Dortmund, Benfica, and Napoli are the teams that Barca has eliminated, and this year they had rolled out the red carpet for them. This group from the Europa League looks like the Conference League, man. Newcastle, Atletico, Tenal, Bodoglin, Sporting de Portugal, Leverkusen. Oh, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I think I've covered all the facts and have nothing more to say. Well, except one thing, this no longer has anything to do with them. We'll discuss our thing tonight in the midday video, okay? Well, apparently every time these people must be a little traumatized too. Maybe Bayern will crush us today. Normally they should get through. In the last 3, 4, or 5 meetings, we've beaten them each time. That's something. The law of probabilities says I'll take this position so I can be happy if we do pull off the comeback. But these people are really messed up when it comes to us. That's why they set off fireworks at the Real Madrid Players Hotel. I believe the footage is from El Chiringuito. Even when they connected with Edu Aguirre and he was capturing the moment, he said that the German police were investigating to try to find the people responsible. Well. All right, guys. Up to this point, everything is very fun, very juicy, very enjoyable, very enjoyable. And we're going to see it tonight because, of course, then all these people will show up and they'll laugh if what usually happens actually happens. But and yes. I mean, can you imagine? Really, can you imagine? As Arbeloa says, we don't need a miracle. Madrid knows how to win there. 3 of the last 4 results Madrid has had there would get us through. Today, it's not so much a miracle. Madrid is in bad shape. Madrid as a team is not Bayern. No patterns of play, not as a group, nothing. Football is unpredictable, especially with Madrid in the Champions League. And I'm telling you, if we get through tonight, it's going to be people all over Europe are going to be shitting themselves. Madrid will deliver something unimaginable, even with Paris Saint-Germain in the semifinals. And above all, there are some fans who would get really desperate. The Barça fans for sure. And the Atlético de Madrid fans wouldn't just get desperate, they'd get chills all over their bodies. Seeing Real Madrid on the horizon in the final, they'd even laugh if they lost to Arsenal. I mean, Atlético de Madrid is going... The Atlético de Madrid fan is going to have 2 knockout rounds, one against Barça and another against Arsenal. If Madrid goes through, in which some of them would have preferred to lose against Barça, but, you know, there are some who are even still care more about Barça since that's their own club. And that hasn't been the case, fortunately. And then against Arsenal, if Madrid goes through, what can I tell you? To the semifinals without playing against Paris Saint-Germain, they're already having nightmares. A projection into the future. Nightmares, how do you say it? Looking ahead, right? Because, of course, you can imagine. Needless to say. All right, see you in the next one. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.